Tell me, you ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight?
I'm just asking because this is some scary ass shit, yo. But not in that sense. I mean, I'm a grown man, so I'm not afraid of anything. But for dude to be this number president, and for things to end up the way that they did, I don't know. That's just interesting, yo. Like, what I'm about to do for everybody is we're gonna go through a Rolodex of events that took place during this presidency or after it. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna look at his Rolodex. You know, the things that this guy is credited for. You know, his time in office. Do you guys see it? Is it up on the screen? Yeah, all right, it is. Okay. Okay, so you guys should be good. Should be able to see everything just fine. Harry Truman, the 33rd president of the United States. Ironically, he's the 33rd president. I know this page is fairly new, but on my last page, we had already broke down, you know, the significance of 33, control out of chaos, CC, um, C being the third letter of the alphabet. Now you understand why 33 has such a high significance, because whenever you see it, it is a code language, it's a mirror number, but it also represents control of the chaos. It's telling you that there's a play at hand. Whenever you see this number, there's a play going on, whether it's good or bad. Something is going on that I just want you to know. So we have Harry S. Truman, the 33rd president of the United States, serving from 1945 to 1953, a leader of the Democratic Party. He previously served as the 34th vice president from January to April 1945 under Franklin Roosevelt, as the United States Senator of Missouri from 1935 to 1945. Okay, so he is he's the vice president, then he becomes the president. He was the to Franklin Roosevelt. Um, Hold on, just real quick. Okay, okay, all right. Eisenhower, another power, has a very interesting run, especially when it comes to the information that we have found out on this native journey. or should I say indigenous journey. For the longest, people have been trying to understand why are they doing this? Why are they, trying to control the masses, and they mix it up with stuff from Egypt and thousands of years ago in Rome, and the Templars and all that different stuff. Okay. Even if all those did take place, you have to take in mind that you can't bring back the past. There is no time machine. All you can do is go forward. So they used the information to make a new nation. That's what they were doing. They weren't trying to take it back to the old school. No, they were creating something while they were here. This Truman guy has a very interesting run as a president for the time that he's the president. People are talking about this Asiatic thing again. And I bet yet, here, let's do this first. Let's listen to something real quick. And it's not even that far. So I'd say it's at 18. Let's go to 17. 2 hours, 17 minutes, 58 seconds. Listen to that.
Called Untouchable. Do you know in the 1950s what they made Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. when he tried?
What it exactly wanted. Let's say right about here.
And it is dark melanated skin. The people.
Here we go.
Okay, here's the thing. Yeah, we got you. We hear. When I'm listening to these people who want to continue to beat back and defend whiteness and mestizo mulatto status, and then try to supplant the original, the aboriginal existence of the skin. The people in the subcontinent of Hindustan, which was called India, and
now on my other page, I brought that up. He said the 1950s, British colonialism. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. Now remember, Truman is in office from, hold on. Truman is in office from 1945 to 1953. Okay, that's his president term. Okay, keep that in mind, 45. All right. September 18th, 1947 is when the CIA is created. All right. Founded by Harry S. Truman. What else happened in 1947? Hindustan becomes India. They'll call it, and one more thing. Hold on. So, in 1945, President Truman gets in office. And I think it was, when did he get in? January. Because, that's when they inaugurate you, and it's the beginning of the year. Okay. So the same year, 1945, the United Nations is created. Okay. 2 years after that, the Central Intelligence Agency is created. That same year, Hindustan is changed into India. Okay, I know you guys are like, where are you going with this? There's a lot of things they were doing back then. If you notice, Truman is responsible for the atom bomb, which blew up Hiroshima and Nagasaki. There is evidence of the original Japanese being Negroes or having froze. You would call them black. In Italy, you know, the boot, they say like the toe of the boot. That's where Sicilians are. They call them black or black mixed. Okay. But that's Africa. We're talking about original Asians, even though you can say those are Africans too. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is the people of Nagasaki could have been Negro Asians. You know what I'm saying? And it could have purposely been done in those areas. Now, that was a hit to Japan, period. You know, their heritage, their country, their people, regardless. And people of those times, you know, the 1800s, before white supremacy took full effect, they were more free with expressing the original people of areas. So this is my theory. It could be that Truman let off the atom bomb in those areas to nuke off the original indigenous Japanese, the Negro featured Japanese. That's why it was called Nagasaki. You don't have to believe that. But it's just interesting that he does that. And at the same time, during his presidency, because that's when he dropped the bomb during his presidency, it's funny how in that same time, during his presidency, the United Nations is formed that same year. Later in the year, that is formed. And it's formed by him. Or no, not him. That's the world. But the CIA is formed by him. The same year that he changes the name from Hindustan to India. Let's keep going with this 33rd president. Let's see what else he's involved in. The Roswell crash. The supposed flying saucer that ended up pitting people in space cadet movies all through the 50s. Which turned out to be a balloon. This is all on his watch. And remember, the same year that the Roswell crash happens is the same year he makes the CIA. What else happened on this guy's watch? The 33rd president. Remember, he lasts all the way till 1954. His last year, the civil rights movement started. Well, wait a minute. Here's something else interesting. What else started in 1954? CERN. So in the 40s, you make the United Nations. So, you know, everybody can be on board with what we're about to do. And in 1947, three things happened. Supposedly, UFOs are seen for the first time. Supposedly. They changed Hindustan into India, and the Central Intelligence Agency is created. All this happens in the same year. So we're turning American Indians into Hindus just to get to the 50s, where we're going to make this CERN machine, and it's going to be made the same year that we're going to start the civil rights movement of the 50s. When people are going to change their name on the census, people are going to lose their identities, they're going to lose their land, they're going to lose their money, they're going to lose everything. See, I tell people all the time, I don't think CERN is about the weather. I think it's about mind control. I think it's a mind-altering machine. And I think with the help of propaganda, the media, the Jews, the Democrats, they were able to take these American Indians and turn them into black people from Africa. Well, that can't be true. You know what I'm saying? They were calling themselves African before that. Yeah, but why? Who told them they were from Africa? They're supposed to be Nigerian, Ghanaian, whatever. They should know where they're from. You know what I'm saying? They just got off the boat. They should know where they're from. That's supposed to be years after. So why does the sign say Negroes? It doesn't say Africans or Ghanaians or Guineas or anything that was already previously known. Ashanti, nothing. It's just calling them this colloquial word that's already over here. Okay, so that's already mixing things up. Fast forward to why would you think you were African? Well, their mystery systems they gave you a guy from Barbados with a French mom and an English dad, but he was the leader of the African society, and they told you were African. Okay. It's part of the mind control. It doesn't just have to be like the whole chemtrails and stuff like that. Like, I'm not negating that that's not real. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it has to have an agenda. It can't be that you are African because they told you that. No. It has to be that you're not. And that's why there's so many stipulations. Like, they could have been gave you a ticket back to this place if that was the key. That's why they can't give you one. That's why they've never issued, like they talk about Abraham Lincoln. He offered people, ticket to, what was it, Liberia that they went to or wherever. That only happened once. And if you notice, they hit him in the head. They shot him in the head. They tried that already. You can't do it, though. So they did it a different way. And all this can be backed up because it's like right after Truman, you get Roosevelt. Right after Roosevelt, you get, or not Roosevelt. After Truman, you get Eisenhower. After Eisenhower, you get JFK. He gets clipped real quick. Then here comes Lyndon B. Johnson. So the whole time is democratically ran. You also got to remember why they clipped JFK and who did they say was involved. Now that we got the information nowadays, you know what I'm saying? Tucker Carlson exposed this shit. Who was it? It's the CIA. So Truman is involved because Truman creates the CIA. It's under his watch. He's the founder of it. See? So it's not like everything I'm saying is not crystal clear. It's all coming right together. What else happened during this guy's run? Oh, okay, that was it. That was it. See, I did it. I loaded it up. Put them right next to each other. That way, I could just keep going forward and go backwards and go forward. It was all on this man's time. All during this guy's time and all this stuff happened. And these are all big situations. And this is the 33rd president. But like, this is what I'm trying to say. Is it the Truman Show? Is there like a hidden message within that statement, period? Yeah, they made it a movie and it was about a fake world. And how Truman had to get out of this fake world, right? All right. Well, let's say it in reverse. Let's say the true Truman Show is what they put us in. And it is his show and it played out. Makes sense. Remember, all this stuff about this Indian talk is just coming around. Even if it's only 5, 6 years old or 7, 8 years old. It's not that old. But how do the pieces fit? How do we make it stick to where it makes sense about why they did it? I say because of integration. Integration doesn't happen until the 50s, but they have to get it started somehow. It has to get started somehow. They have to have a reason to do it. See, they keep claiming the FBI. The FBI didn't infiltrate the Black Panthers. It's the CIA. See, I'm telling you, they're all involved. And people are like, well, how they say it? Because that's what the Panthers were. They were Marxists. That's the agenda of today. These groups have been bought out for years. Regardless if we want to think that they're good guys for what, though. Like, most people are enemies of the government due to, you know, the fantasizing of the bad guy, the drug dealer, the not Robin Hood. They're not helping the ghettos. They're not, you know, doing anything for anybody. But they're going off the illusion. Okay, well, who gave that to you? If you were about business first, you were about business, and then you end up going to, you know, robbing and stealing and selling drugs. It's like, what put that there? I'm telling you, the agenda is the Indian. That's the agenda. That's the agenda. Because eventually you are going to read and get to that colored word. And you were going to see how that's split into so many different categories. And then how once you start reading, you know, treaties and deeds and laws and, you know, eventually with the technology advancing, you are going to wake up. You know what I'm saying? If you are a sleeping giant, you got to take it for what it is. You were asleep. But there's no denying this president Harry Truman is a very interesting guy. His time slot in the office is just impeccable to what is. And his number is like if he was put in there, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think he was put in there. He was purposely put in there to do this. And he just so happened to be a Democrat. Just so happened to be one. And remember, they want their slaves back. You know what I'm saying? You got it on record that Lyndon B. Johnson talking about he'll make sure them niggers vote Democrat for 200 years. Okay, you don't think Truman was on that same mission? If we're going to integrate them, if we're going to use their vote anyway. Okay, I always say they're 10 steps ahead of us. Like, by the time we catch up to them, they're like 10, 100 years ahead. So for it to land on the 33rd president and him to be in his time slot, all this switch up is happening. There's no way that people could say that this wasn't set up. It was set up, yo. I ain't gotta sit here and talk a bunch of pretty words, and we ain't gotta rock it like that. We just gotta look at what happened. He's put in office in 1945. Okay, in 1945, the United Nations is created. In 1947, while he's in office, the CIA is created. It even tells you over here, founder Harry S. Truman. Okay. Hindustan, 1947, was changed into India. Roswell crash, spooky space alien adventures, you know what I'm saying? FBI stuff. That's why you got to show the X-Files to this day. He's showing you the connection. Okay, 1947. Same year they switched up everything and made this secret intelligence agency. 1954, his last year, the civil rights movement starts. Like, if they wasn't already in the makings with that movement, how do we know? Because in the same year, CERN is created. All this stuff is going on. Look at all this stuff they're doing the same year. Interesting stuff, man. Yo, y'all let me know what y'all think, though. I just want to keep y'all ears and eyes open and stuff. Because if you think the Biggie and Pac, the Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, if you think those can't have, other plays to them, look at this. You tell me how you can't believe that the show didn't already started when they put it out there with him. We just didn't even see it. They covered it with that bomb. With the bomb being done, so much other stuff was being did right on nobody even knows. And it was a worldwide plan because, like I said, the UN is created in San Francisco. So, Truman was involved. Like, share, subscribe, man.